houses for people. إذا أنت سعر البيت اللي بتباوع عليه من 400 وأقل, I guarantee you, you will have a problem negotiating the price. بس إذا أنت تشتري بيت ب 600 700 ألف أو أكثر في مجال.
So, this is an Emerson NR-30. If it looks familiar, it's because it is a complete ripoff of a Tivoli Model One tabletop speaker, like Fran Blanche posted in a very recent video. It inspired me to go digging through my closet because I got one of these at the time in the early 2000s, because only rich people could afford Tivoli Model Ones. Whereas this guy looks the part, but was $30 instead of like $180. So this is just a very basic table radio. It's got an auxiliary input and a phono output on the, or a headphone output on the back. It's got a wire antenna for the FM, permanently attached. And what you see is pretty much what you get. This has, just like the Tivoli, it has a geared volume knob. It's lit, unlike the Tivoli, but they did it in a nice shade of orange. And yeah, this one, it's got a small amount of AC hum whenever it's on, but the tuning performance is quite good, and the tone is pretty good too.
Mostly clear, lows in the low 200s. Tomorrow, partly to mostly sunny. West and mid-Michigan could get some isolated showers and thunderstorms, highs in the upper 80s. And then on Wednesday, a chance of showers.
Every night, my every thought is you. Tennessee.
And feelings into this, because you're hopeless.
And unlike the Tivoli that she showed, this has excellent AM performance too. Like I said, I bought this in the early 2000s, and that's about when I contracted the woke mind virus. So I haven't actually ever had any reason to listen to AM radio, but the performance is very good. I'm in Metro Detroit, which is not a radio-free zone by any stretch. The FM-AM switch is a little dirty, so it doesn't reliably switch to AM at the moment. That would need to be cleaned out, but it always did until it spent winters in the garage and so forth. But it seems to be an analog tuner, but we'll dig into it and see.
أكيد 248-737-9500 248-737-95.
More than probably anyone on the show, maybe at WJR. I enjoy gambling, okay? I'm a very pro-gambling person.
So far, the worst season on record. The Biden administration and Texas Governor
And that's one thing I thought about the defense that I think they did well. The defensive line.
Much like the Tivoli that she showed, about a quarter of the way up is a reasonable listening volume if you have a strong signal. You can turn it up to about halfway depending on what the source is before it starts to distort, so that's not a bad performance. So this is the back panel board. There's a couple things worthy of note. The interesting thing is, like, half this board is unpopulated. I'm not sure if this is because it's a shared design with the model they had that had an auxiliary speaker, and maybe it's the other channel of the amplifier. This position right here suggests they would have a stereo output in that location. So I don't, or stereo input or output in that location. So I'm not exactly sure what they were after. And this is my first time in here in many years, so I couldn't tell you. It is nice that they put a grill over the inside of the bass reflex port, because that has kept this thing bug-free over the decades. And then deep in here, this may or may not be in focus. It's probably not going to be in focus, but that's the tuner board. And then the speaker is an Ocean Sound 8 ohm, 5 to 10 watts. And then you can see it's got a decent sized transformer in there for the linear power supply. So I haven't actually taken the front off to see what kind of chips and stuff are in here, but you can see right there, there's some adjustments for the tuning capacitor, similar to what the Tivoli had. And then as far as this goes, this is actually an aluminum plate instead of a plastic one. That doesn't seem like it would be great for resonance, but it honestly doesn't seem to have affected the sound any, as far as I can tell. So yeah, I bought this thing because I was too poor to afford a Tivoli when I wanted one, and it turns out it was just fine. And it looks nice, and it sounds nice, and there it is. They made, like I said, a 2-speaker version just like the Tivoli Model 2, except instead of the nice aesthetic of just having the speaker off to one side and the rest of it being a blank panel, they stayed true to their cheap roots, and they put a fake frequency response graph right here, so it looked ridiculously tawdry. But I'm sure it sounded just as nice as this one did. So that's it. That was what you could get for your $30 at Meyer, back when the Tivolis were actually popular.